Okay, I was asked about my interests and anything after my retirement. Well, I don't have any plans of leaving soon, but when I do, I like golfing. I like looking at soccer, but I also like vacationing down in Cuba. So that would be my plans, to just relax, take it easy, and enjoy.
Some of my personal interests, I like to be a little bit active, especially with the seasonal weather here. Summertime, I like to, be outdoors. I like to ride my bicycle, do some rollerblading, go to the gym and, try and keep active, because that's one of the things on these jobs, because we're mostly consistently sitting down and stuff. So I find that in making the TDC a career, I've realized that I have to do something that will keep me active, and thus will give me a longer career with the TTC, obviously, because I'll be more healthier. So, there's just certain things I do like to do. I enjoy traveling. I enjoy getting away,
So I do hope to retire in a couple of years. I would like to stay for the opening of the Spadina extension, or at least past the Pan Am Games in 2015. After retirement, I plan on doing some traveling. I travel extensively as much as I can while I'm employed. I just got back from California for 2 weeks, and last weekend I was in New York. But having said that, I am an avid scuba diver, and I do like Mexico, and I plan to go to Australia and perhaps other locations to fulfill my dreams of traveling throughout the world. I've never been off North America, and the world is a big place. I have 5 grandchildren, and I plan on spending some time with them as well.
So the Transit Control Center, at any one time, we would have about 15 or 20 people working in the office here. When something big happens, everybody springs to action. Everybody has a role to play. Your tower controllers are trying to keep service running. Our dispatchers are answering the phones, which are going non-stop. Our radio dispatcher is trying to get supervisory personnel out to all the key locations. And we have a comm desk, communication desk, and basically their entire existence at that point is to get information out to the public. And we're trying to do all of that instantaneously. So I guess what I like to say to people is try to cut us a little slack. We are doing everything in our power to get the information out to you so that you know what options you have. And we are working really hard in the background trying to get things going for you. I feel sometimes that people don't realize that there's a lot more to the situation than just themselves. So sometimes when you've been taken off a train because of a delay, you're all upset and mad because you're standing waiting for a train, but you have to realize that that train probably had a lot less people on it than what we need on the other side of the track. So we're trying to get that train back for where the busier peak is or the busier flow is.
There are certain situations where you'll have to offload a train and turn that train back for a delay that's happening in the opposite direction. You will take a train that's perhaps 1 or 2 behind a train that was in a gap and offload that train, cross it over, and send it back in the opposite direction. Because in 15 minutes from now, that gap that's going in one direction is going to occur in the opposite direction. So you need to fill that hole or that gap, or the customers are going to be standing on the platform for a longer period of time. It definitely is an inconvenience, the customers that you're asking to offload that train. However, this is a necessary evil.
One of the sayings we have at TTC is the big picture, and you have to realize that we do have the big picture here, and we are really trying to make sure that we're doing the best for the most amount of people, and we're working really hard here, and I hope that you know that we're doing our best to keep things going for you.
In the future, especially with automatic train operation coming, there are going to be more trains and they're going to be more frequent. But the only way that can happen is if people listen to the chimes and don't run for the train. Just let the train leave and let the next one come in, because they want to run them. I think they want to run the trains every minute. instead of what they're doing now. So the quicker people are on and off the train, the quicker the next train can be in the station. That being said, I guess some people, there's always going to be people that don't really think about what they're doing when they're down here and run for the train and jam themselves in the door, which I see once in a while, not as often as I used to. One thing that I see that very annoying personally is when somebody rams their baby carriage into the door with a baby in it. So they use the baby carriage to stop the doors because there's not much, you know, when you see someone's about to do that, the doors are still moving, so half the time they still get wedged in the doors before you open the doors, and then they look at you like you did something wrong. Wonderful parents, in my opinion. Let's use our kid as a doorstop. Yeah. That's just one thing that's annoying.
We tend to try and wait for people when we know there's time, but if we're closing the doors, we're closing the doors. It's time to go. And again, if we have a green light, we have to go. We can't sit around and wait. Control wants us to move that train, and please wait for the next one. The other day I was actually at a station and a couple of women I saw were running, and I held my fingers on the buttons to keep the doors open, and they were coming along. At the same time, there was a gentleman walking along, just taking his time, not looking towards me, very casually. The women both ran on. As soon as they got on, I closed the doors. At the second the doors were closing, he turns towards the train, looks at me, and obviously he wanted on. He gave no indication, and he's kind of like, really? What, you're not letting me on? No, all I needed was some indication, and he would have been on with the other two passengers, but at this point, we're going. So no matter how many people I let on, I hold the doors, there's always going to be somebody out there that's not happy or felt I should have waited for one more person. And I turn around and there's another train I can see coming down the tracks behind me. He would have been on that in 2 minutes.
And if one thing I could share with the passengers, they just have to respect the system, and even though it might be weird to say, treat it as if they're going into their home, and respect it and rely and trust the system. And obviously it's not really perfect, but one thing I could share with them, when you're out in transit, whether it be a bus, a streetcar, or a subway, I like to call them the 3 Ps, which is, again, plan, prepare, and pay attention, because all the systems are there. There is chimes, there's a flasher light, and and then now there's audio that advises the public of certain things that will affect the safety. So again, plan, prepare, and pay attention.
Hi, it's me again, Curtis. Hobbies, personal interests. Well, I'm probably a little bit old-fashioned, but I do a lot of fishing. Special announcements for passengers leaning against the doors or standing by the doors. Please do not lean against the doors. If we lose our green door light, the train will stop. And for your safety, in case the doors do open, we do not want nobody to fall to track level. So please do not lean against the doors. Thank you. Lost a green door light again. Hobbies. I used to collect comics. I still collect them a little bit. Teach my daughter. Do a lot of fishing. Love gardening, believe it or not. And I do hunting. DJing actually is another passion of mine. I own a DJ company on the side called Special Sounds Entertainment, disc jockey services. I do a lot of weddings, corporate gigs. I did a lot of DJing before I came here. I was a club DJ. Did that for a lot of years. I did it for 9 years before I came here, and now I don't do clubs anymore. I own a company with somebody else, my partner Phoenix, and we have 5 DJs, and we do a lot of weddings, corporate gigs, retirement stuff, and pretty much that's. And my daughter, she's my hobby of my life. Got to keep a little 9-year-old busy, and every day is a hobby day.
So I'm really enjoying living in Toronto. I think it's a great city. I love all the neighbourhoods here. I like the fact that there's so many cultural activities. You've got Pride, you've got Carabana, you've got even just coming up the Jazz Festival. It's fantastic. One of the things I do love, a passion of mine, is sport. Got behind me. Football shirt of my true love, apart from the wife, of course, which is my football team, Plymouth Argyle. So I still tend to stay in touch with them. But I've been along to TFC, I've been to the Leafs, I've been to the Raptors, been to the Jays, and I really enjoy sport. So that keeps me sane, keeps me busy. That's what I tend to do on the weekend.
Hey everyone, you know, I was being asked recently, you know, what kind of hobbies and what kind of special interests I have, and so what I like to do in my spare time, some of it anyway, is like model railways. I'm part of a model railway club, and we put on a show, and people from around southern Ontario come to see the show, come see the trains, come see the models, and the creative talents that many different people have.
I'm interested in youth. I like being around young people. I enjoy the enthusiasm. It keeps me young too. I have a lot of young people in my life that I interact with, and I think that dealing with youth, especially the youth today, you get a lot of understanding from them. You get to know a lot about young people too. My interest really is flying. I would like to fly planes. Funny, I have this desire to fly a plane. I always had, but here I am driving a train, so I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not. But that's really my interest. My hobbies really are that. I enjoy playing table tennis. I like to go to the gym sometimes, work out, but you know, I can do anything that I want to do, especially if it comes to activities and stuff. So I go to church, I enjoy that, and have a wonderful church family, and it's what I do, you know.
My interest in hobby right now that occupies a lot of my leisure time is YouTube. And that's actually how I came to be on this video. I had made a video about work that someone I subscribed to asked me to make. And the producers of this video saw that video and then got in touch with me and asked me if I wanted to be on the documentary, this one. So that's been my hobby for about a year now. I used to be a big gamer playing MMO games like World of Warcraft and Star Wars, The Old Republic. I mean, between that and visiting friends, that's about it. A little bit of reading and television on the side. Back when I was younger, much younger, you're surrounded by many, many people down here. And if you enjoy being around people, which I do, you have the opportunity to meet a lot of people. And it's through people that I met that I got to go to Japan and Korea that I wouldn't really have otherwise had the opportunity to do. Also, most of the girlfriends I've had have been customers first. Sometimes they stalk you and you don't know it. And sometimes you just meet on the spur of the moment. It doesn't happen as often now because it's really too busy to talk to somebody, but back, you know, more than several years ago, before we were operating above capacity, you had the opportunity to talk to someone, and there's a lot of interesting people you can meet down here, provided you're not all crammed into the subway at morning rush hour. Then everyone wants to get it over with, get on the train and get off.
So I was thinking about one of the memorable vacations and things I've done in my lifetime is I would love to go riding on the rails, the full-size rails, not just doing the modeling stuff, And one time, my wife and I, we got on a plane, we went out to Vancouver. We got on the Rocky Mountaineer train, and a wonderful trip there. And then we stopped at Jasper. From Jasper back to Toronto, we did the Via Canadian first class. And I highly recommend it. Anybody wants to see Canada, get on that Via Rail Canadian. It's a wonderful way to see our lands. Enjoy the country. Yeah, bye for now.
At the TTC, we have launched a 5-year corporate plan. This is it. It's a document we've worked really hard on over the last 6 months, and we've just launched it to our wider leadership group, and we're now launching it to our employees. What that does, it's a roadmap really. It sets out what we need to achieve over the next 5 years to totally transform the TTC top to bottom. And by that, I mean transforming the equipment, so introducing new vehicles, transforming processes to make them more customer-led, not what I call production-led, in other words, doing things from a customer perspective, but also transforming people, making the culture truly customer-led, making you, our customers, feel valued and giving you consistently excellent service. So it's a big document. At the back of the document, we actually set out on an appendix just how much we have to deliver over the next 5 years. It's a roadmap, if you like, non-exhaustive for everything that needs to be done. So we're going to be hugely busy. We've got Presto coming, new streetcars, automatic train control, rolling out the new rocket trains. We've got to deliver the Pan Am Games, open the Spadina extension, modernise stations, introduce truly a customer-led organisation. So it's a very exciting time to be here, I think. And also, in addition to that, we're working with Metrolinx to get these new LRT and subway lines open. So busy at the TTC. I'm hugely proud to be the CEO of the TTC. I pinch myself sometimes when I realise I'm part of a team that runs the third largest transit system in North America. What I do know is we're serious about this document, the corporate plan. We are serious about delivering that vision of a transit system that makes Toronto proud. We've got a long way to go. I think we're well on the way. We're taking lots of steps to improve things. And fundamentally, what I can rely on is a fantastic team of 12,500 professional members of staff and managers who, they're the ones who deliver the success. They're the ones who are out there day and night serving our customers. So it's a great time to be here. I'm loving every minute of it.
All right, so I guess the only other thing I have to say is, it's just like any other job, it's what you make of it. Coming to work each day is a pretty easy thing to do. It's going to sound strange, but I find this a pleasant way to spend the day. Operating the train all day. And I'm usually in a good mood when I leave here. Although I could be tired, not physically, but mentally, because you have to concentrate while you're driving the train, and it's a good idea to concentrate while you're doing the doors too. I get home and usually have a nap, because I'm doing a straight through piece of work. And when I have split shifts, I usually have a nap in the middle. So your whole day is basically used up more or less. So you only have your days off to socialize. But it depends on, for some people, this job is about all they can handle and they get so stressed out. And I don't. For me, I like being here. So there's always a way to enjoy something. You just have to look for it.
Yes, any kind of concluding thoughts that I'd have about this job? It's still a good job. It's you have to make the most out of it. It's all about the attitude that you bring to the job. Like I mentioned before, it can be quite stressful at times. It can be quite trying at times. I'd be lying if I said that there'd be days that I've gone home and just wanted to throw in the towel. But overall, there's definitely more pros than cons. A lot of people tend to focus on the cons. You know, the glass is half empty as opposed to half full. But you get out of it what you put into it. So if you try to look at the better side of things, you'll realize that it's a great job. It really is. You can't beat the benefits. You can't beat the interaction you have with people.
There's a lot of other worse ways of earning a living out there. So I'd have to say that I'm glad I work for the TTC. I try to do my best. I try to do a good job for the customers, for the TTC, for my co-workers, and hopefully at the end of the day, I could go home and say, today was a good day. I enjoyed it, and even when you have a bad day, the greatest thing about this job is the next day, it's a fresh, brand new day all over again. So you could leave your troubles the day behind. You had a bad passenger, you know, some kind of whatever, had a bad day at work. You start fresh the next day, which is pretty cool.
Lonesome stranger, with a crowd around you, I see who you are. You joke, they laugh, till the show is over, then you fall so hard. If you're needing a soul-to-soul connection, I'll run to your side. When you're lost in the dark, when you're out in the cold, when you're looking for something that resembles your soul, when the wind blows your house of cards, I'll be a home to your homeless heart. Open, close me, leave your secrets with me, I can ease your pain, and my arms will be just like walls around you, come in from the rain. If you're running in the wrong direction, I will lead you back. When you're lost in the dark, when you're out in the cold, when you're looking for something that resembles your soul, when the wind blows your house of cards, I'll be a home to your homeless heart. Broken, shattered like a mirror in a million pieces. Sooner or later, you've got to find something, someone to find you and save you. When you're lost in the dark, when you're out in the cold, when you're looking for something that resembles your soul, when the wind blows your house of cards, I'll be a home to your homeless heart. When you're looking for something that resembles your soul, when the wind blows your house of cards, I'll be a home to your homeless heart. I'll be a home to your homeless heart.
280, rolling into the portal. Lead car 5867. It's a good train.
5867.
Affirmative, 867.